you wanna do it, just do it. Do it like it's never been done before. Just do it. Do it like the moment is finally yours. Just do it. Do it like it's all you've been waiting for. Do what you do. Do what you do. Do it for you. Do it for you. Don't gotta try. It's what you're made for. Yeah, it's your life. So make it all yours. I like that. Flash all the lights. Face on the billboard. Think it's your time. Come on, break down that door. I like that. If you wanna do it, you can do it. Yeah, if you wanna do it, just do it. Do it like it's never been done before. Just do it. Do it like the moment is finally yours. Just do it. Do it like it's all you've been waiting for. Do what you do. Do what you do. Do it for you. Do it for you. Do it for you. If you wanna do it, if you wanna do it, you can do it, yeah. Just do it. Do it like it's never been done before. Just do it. Do it like the moment is finally yours. Just do it. Do it like it's all you've been waiting for. Do what you do. Do what you do. Do it for you. You can do it, yeah. Do it. Do it. You can do it, yeah. Do it for you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Car Wash Magazine Live. I am your host, Matt DeWolf, editor-in-chief of Car Wash Magazine. Good to see you all here. Tom Tilford, my friend, as always, thanks for joining us here on your adventure to wherever you're headed today to do a little work, a little windshield time, if you will. Now, we've got some big things coming down the pipe for you. I have so much that I want to talk to you all about. It's hard to focus it, friends, because we've got a lot of big stuff coming down the pipe in terms of the Car Wash Magazine and everything that we're doing on that side of the house. We've got some stuff going on at ICA that's really cool and really important that I want to share with you all. So I'm going to try to calm myself a little bit and be succinct for you all. So first and foremost, I just want to say at the top of this program, you always see kind of the logos scrolling if you're kind of entering that waiting room period. Special thanks to our Champions Council partners. Those folks are members of the supplier community who are really kind of pushing things forward for us, kind of seen as our thought leaders in this industry in a lot of ways. And so thank you for their support, and a special shout out actually to our two newest members of that group, Stinger Chemical and Motor City Washworks. So thank you for the support there. What we do is not possible without the support of our partners. So look, today on the show, we're going to talk to Tanuj Thapliyal, which some of you may have met Tanuj at the latest Car Wash show. He's with Spot AI. So they're all about video intelligence and how you can take some of those cameras that you're popping up all over your site and turn that information into actionable data sources. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But first, friends, let's get into the headlines for this week. Who do we got up first? We've got Eastern Funding. They've added John Michael Tinney to their roster of employees there. He's going to be working with them. He brings a lot of car wash pedigree with him, so great ad for them. Other news we've got coming at you, we've got Protovest officially acquired by their current president, Jeff Reichard. So congratulations to them. Nothing's changing operationally, just a transfer of ownership there, and they will continue to do business under the Protovest Dryers LLC name. And then, of course, We've got this last week, we officially opened registration for the Car Wash Show 2022 in Nashville. So that's May 9 through 11. Yes, we know it's on Mother's Day. Get flowers, friends, because you're going to want to be in Nashville to see all the vendors, all of your car wash people, all your family there. And we're going to connect. We're going to have a great time. We've got lots of stuff coming for you from Car Wash Magazine Live Studios. We've got some prizes. We've got really great peer-to-peer sessions going on and a whole host of stuff for you. So make sure you check that out. You can register right at the link below if you want to. Now, there's lots of stuff coming down. I've been talking about it. We've got some stuff from LEAD. That's ICA's Leadership and Education program. We're going to talk more about that next week, but know that they're releasing some new content there, some really important stuff. We're going to come back to that next week. But for now, friends, we're going to answer a question for you. What does socks have to do with anything? Right? So this is an experience story for you. I recently, our family added a puppy to our mix, right? And so we have a Great Dane. We added a really small dog. Don't ask me why we like those kind of paradoxical things. We like opposite ends of the spectrum, but we do. So we added a puppy. That puppy, as puppies do, ate a pair of slippers, right? Ate a pair of slippers. So for a long time, I've really loved this Bombas sock brand. So if you're not familiar, Bombas, B-O-M-B-A-S, excellent brand, great socks. But what really sets them apart, honestly, is their service. And I didn't realize this. So the puppy eats the slippers. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, man, that really stinks. Like, I feel terrible. They're destroyed. They're my wife's slippers. I should maybe like order some new slippers to be nice. So I ordered new slippers. And when they arrived, in the packaging, friends, is a little card, and it outlines their brand promise and their customer satisfaction promise to their customers. And as you look at it, it's like, oh, we've got you covered. We will repair or make right basically anything. So think about that. So whether they're the wrong size, yeah, that makes sense. Great. As a retail company, you should probably fix that. Whether you lose one, they will replace it. Whether, in my case, the dog ate your slippers, they are going to replace those. So I tested this, right? So I sent in an email. I said, hey, look, in my latest order, I've got a wrong size, and then I've got this other pair that I ordered maybe a year and a half ago that our dog ate. And within 24 hours, friends, they sent me back a message and said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Keep the pair that was too big, okay? Hand it to somebody else. So awesome brand opportunity there, right? They get to spread that out. Give that to somebody else. We got the new ones on the way. And sorry, the brand that you had before, the style that you had before, that's out of stock. But we're going to give you a gift card in the amount of that item so you can buy whatever you want from our store. So when you think about how we show up every day in this industry and how we want to stand out from other car wash brands, I think it's really important that we remember that we're not trying to just stand out from other car wash brands. We're trying to stand out from all brands, and especially those consumer-facing brands that they interact with every day. And so pay really close attention to that, friends, because this kind of customer experience and the way that, for Bombas and their sock brand and what they do there, how they treat their customers makes them stand out. It's important. You're gonna want to pay attention. Go buy some socks. I don't know. That's what socks have to do with it, friends. That's a phrase that does not pay, but it is hard to say. Now we're going to talk to Tanuj Thapliyal from Spot AI. So Tanuj and I got into all things video intelligence. Part of that is related to that sock conversation we just had, because we were talking about how do you use that data to change the customer experience, and what can you be doing, and how should you be thinking differently, and how should you be approaching all this stuff. So we're going to get into that conversation in just a moment. How about right now?
I've seen another interesting trend in this industry, and it's that you used to have a split between membership and subscription and retail, right? Where you had way more retail than membership. And that's starting to shift, right? And you might have been happy with the 50-50 split, but now like I'm talking to operators who are at 70-30 splits where most of their revenue streams are actually memberships. Yeah. And what happens in that case, it's happened in every market, right? Is people change their relationship with that vendor, right? If it's a membership, right?
Yeah.
It's more of a partnership with that brand, and they're counting on them to deliver a clean car quickly and consistently, right? And that puts the onus on the operators to always be trying to make it better and better and provide a better service and iterate and learn from fellow operators and figure out what they want to tweak, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting to news. I didn't really put much thought into it that way, but you're right. I mean, once you become a member of something, your expectations are higher, right? And so
exactly.
there's more
Yeah,
pressure. So you do need to be delivering on kind of all fronts there. Look, at the end of the day, the great news is that damage does not happen very frequently,
no,
right? I mean, the
yeah,
data shows that
it
it's
doesn't.
like less than 1/100%
Ex-
in terms of overall cars washed. So it's not happening every day. So let's talk a little bit about video intelligence in terms of what else can we do with this thing? Like, how else
Yeah,
should we be thinking about video intelligence?
yeah. So cameras can be used for a lot, and video intelligence can be used for a lot, right?
And maybe
Um,
actually, Tanuj, I'm going to cut you off because I realize we should maybe define video intelligence,
yeah,
right? Like, what is it?
yeah. What is video intelligence? So video intelligence is a tool that's able to help anyone at work make decisions based on video context instead of hearsay. So what that means is that when you're trying to solve a problem at work, you can use video off a camera to make a decision on what you change or what you do. That's
Hmm.
really the ethos of video intelligence. So you're using video as a new data source to make a decision on what to change, right? So, I mean, I gave an example of like the grade, from the
Yeah.
pay station to the entrance of the tunnel. I mean, you can have another on roller spacing, right? Like let's say you're tweaking some parameters, in the tunnel, right? And you're at a 7 foot roller spacing, right? And you want to see, can I drive better throughput if I trim that roller spacing, down in half and reduce the speed, right? And you can use cameras to be able to check and monitor the performance of that, right? Like how many roller jumps did you have in a day on your busiest day, right? We can get even more specific. Let's say you're in a market where, let's use the example where there are a lot of premium cars, a lot of
Yeah.
Mercedes, BMWs, right? Super sensitive on the rims, right? They're going to notice dings and scratches on the rims, right? So now let's say you put some, polyethylene plastic on the guardrails, right? The guide rails, right?
Hmm.
And then, whether it's a front pull or a rear push, right? You're putting them in the right place. And for example, you can use video intelligence and cameras to be able to monitor right looking at those belts and make sure, did you countersink the bolts in, right? Because you don't want those bolts to protrude out and scratch all the cars, because you're going to realize that later and you're going to have some, you know, spike up in damage claims. But again, it's not about the cost of the claims. It's about the brand impact, right? Of all those people going home, right? So those are some examples. The detail shop is another great area, right? Are you doing a quick express detail, right? Um, you can use video intelligence to help coach and train the people in that detail shop and help show them the best practices of how to run a high quality detail at high throughput. So you can record video of like your best performing person, doing all the different steps. You can share that with your newest hire. And then as your newest hire is working the first 1-2 weeks, you can help annotate the video. You can show them, hey, at this part, you might want to try it this way, and it helps people be the best versions of themselves. And what we've learned, Matt, is that when you provide the video intelligence to everybody in that workplace, you normalize the data source and you help them use it as a coaching and training and development tool. And when you have trained labor shortages in the car wash industry, we have like a lot of first time people getting their first jobs ever, right?
Hmm.
Entering this profession, how you coach and train and develop people becomes really important. So if you make them a participant in the video systems and help them use video intelligence, that's a way that you can drive enormous improvements in how people deliver quality customer service without, freaking out and stressing them out that, they have to work faster, faster, faster. It's about coaching and training and development, right?
So I started to laugh a little bit because I can't help but think of a bunch of car wash folks sitting in a room with a projector watching game film, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and you got John Madden, he's
Yeah.
telestrating the thing, and he's like,
Yeah.
you got to hit it with compressed air here, and then
Yeah.
boom,
Man.
the dirt is gone, right? It's like,
I'm with
come
you.
on.
That's the future, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it. We'll film it when it happens.
Yeah. No,
Talk to me a little bit about, okay, so cameras everywhere, right? So there was a time when cameras were super expensive. It was
Oh, yeah.
really a big barrier to entry. Now cameras and the technology that goes in them is pretty inexpensive. I mean, this whole thing, what we're doing right now, I've got one camera in front of me.
Yeah.
We're recording on the internet, and it's happening in
Yeah.
an office, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these things have come a long way. How important was that in terms of making this possible? I imagine it was the only reason it was possible.
Yeah, and you're hitting the nail on the head. And see, market inflection points, they really have to intersect some technology inflection point. And in our case, high quality, high definition, reliable cameras have gotten so dirt cheap
Mm-hmm.
that it's extremely low friction to put them anywhere. And by doing that, you're able to get eyes in more places. That's been kind of a mega thing that's needed to happen. And at this point, I can get a high definition camera in the low tens of dollars that's super premium, super rugged, right? Isn't going to break, and they're all commodities, right? And you can get them from anywhere, right? U.S., Taiwan,
Yeah.
China if you're bold, and it doesn't matter, right? But them coming down in cost is what's enabling this movement to happen, with all these people at work trying to access cameras and use video for a lot more.
Same story with all technology, right? This is why we're advancing in point of sale. This is why we're advancing
Exactly
in
right.
License plate recognition. All these things are happening because technology is getting cheaper, so we can buy it and we can implement it, and people are finding creative ways. But let's move to the people side of this, because
Yeah.
not everybody loves being videotaped
No.
or filmed,
Yeah.
however you want to frame it.
Yeah.
But we are, I mean, whether we like to know it or not, we're being filmed all the time. Like I mean, there are cameras everywhere. Do you think, are there any barriers on that front in terms of like implementing some of this technology? Like, are there going to be conversations that you have to have with customers?
Great question. So the way we approach it is, the more access you give the video to more people, the more you help this data source, like, help people accomplish whatever goals or missions they have. And I'll get specific about this. So, education is a key component of this. So when you're introducing a new technology into your business, and in this case, like with car washes, right? Like, you have an obligation to be able to educate and train every single person in that car wash, from the CSA, right, all the way up to your managers and, ownership level, right, on how to use the technology, what to use it for, right? And then you're thinking the key is you need to give access to it to as many people as you can within that org. And the moment you do that, everyone's kind of on the same side. See, Big Brother, it's about information asymmetry. It's about only a few people having access to something or having access to data. But the moment you have screens all over, the office area, right? Like right behind the tunnel, in the detail shop, and you have video and signage everywhere, you've normalized the data source and people are using it to make better decisions.
All right, friends. So I've got a little bit of a confession to make. I cut that off there on purpose on you because I want you to listen to the rest of the conversation. And it is full of great things for you to take back to your business. There's a lot to think about in that conversation with Tanuj. And really about 35 minutes in total, I think, of total conversation there. Check that out wherever you're getting your podcast content. That's going to release in 11 minutes, friends. 11 minutes from right now, that's dropping wherever you get your podcast subscriptions. You can also check that out at the Car Wash Magazine app. You can download that in your app store if you want to get the latest and greatest all the time. And look, I want to make sure that in an ongoing basis, we're telling the stories that you all want to hear, that we're getting the chance to highlight you, to show you all off. So if you've got something that you want us to cover, if you have something that you're doing that's really outstanding, make sure you send that to me, mdewolf@carwash.org, and we will pick that up and see what we can do to make sure that we're highlighting that. And friends, when you're out there, there's just one thing that you've got to do, and you maybe have heard me say this a few times, but when you're out there, keep it clean.